And most of us are unknowingly acidic. And we want to be neutral around 7. And from a 7 to a 6 is a 10 times difference. And from a 7 to a 5, which most people are, about a 5, is 100 times more acidic, the urine that's leaving your body. So we want to test our saliva and urine. Saliva tells you what's going on in your mouth. And if you're acidic in your mouth and your head, you can be rotting your teeth, you can have more jaw problems, you can have problems with your tongue, all those things, or sinuses. So the first book I read on acid-alkaline balance when this man told me about this was by Dr. Blvd. Lymph fluid flows best in an alkaline medium. When the body is overly acidic, it slows, creating one of the most chronic, life-threatening situations. The plethora of diseases that occur because of hindered lymph flow and increased tissue acid storage are astounding. So again, it's well known that if we're acidic, and this book was written a few decades ago, but I'm going to show you more research on how recently they're finding out that everything is about cellular waste. So just recently, last month, they found out that breast cancer is linked to microbial imbalance. So a microbial imbalance is when your bad microbes become more powerful in a part of your body than your good microbes. That's why I want to take probiotics, right? We also be taking probiotics, we're eating sauerkraut or kimchi. So that is a direct link. Heart failure, just the other month, just last month, heart failure was linked to desmin proteins making amyloid in the heart. So when these proteins build in the heart, they stop the lymphatic system, and that's why they fill with fluid and cellular waste. It's junk actually clogging the lymphatics. Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, Huntington's disease, even ALS has all been linked to cellular waste. Now, in 2015, we've always been taught in school that there's no lymphatic vessels in the brain. All the doctors I learned from, no, there's no lymphatic. All the O's is who I learned from. There's no lymphatic system in the brain. Well, now we know there's lymphatic system in the brain. In 2015, they found lymphatic system in the brain. And just recently, they found that it's the major outflow of cerebrospinal fluid, meaning your brain fluid that's meant to clean your brain has to flow through your lymphatic system, and it's a major outflow. And in one study I read said that in mice, as these mice age, that outflow stops flowing as well. So that's why it's important to keep your lymph system going. So otherwise your brain fills with fluid, and that's Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, I even believe all these diseases. So it's something we all need to think of, and I don't care what you have, anxiety, depression, panic disorders. When I put people through a detoxification, which when I first learned of this, that I had to clean people, I didn't do what I do now. Now I'm very gentle with people. They come in 1 week, then next time they come in maybe once or twice, then we do a little heart. I just don't come in 3 days in a row. No, just come in 3 days in a row, you're fine. People with cancer, heart disease, I could have killed them. I honestly could have killed them because I'm releasing waste. Right. So I get people ready for that first so that they don't even feel it by the time they go through it. But it did show me how everybody who went through my detoxification, over a year I developed it, and that was 3 days in a row with no preparation at all, had insomnia, depression, didn't feel well, some was sleepy, some had energy that second night. And then the third night they were like, wow, I'm tired, but I feel okay. That was the waste I released in their body. But it's in us, it's killing us all. So we have to learn to get it out. And that's what I've become very good at. So this is a person who has lymphedema. This is a big leg. This woman actually had what they call a French procedure where they cut off the skin. And it's not something I've been watching her through the years, she has more and more problems. So really a good therapist could drain that and wrap it for months and get that down. But it would be a lot of work. And insurance companies don't like to pay for it. They'll pay for 2 weeks and that's it. But so in 2005, 2 studies linked fat and obesity to damage lymph vessels. Okay, they damaged the genes of a mouse in the leg, and the leg got leaky lymph vessels and it got fat. So we're all suffering from a lymphatic, even a little bit of fluid under your arm, the little bit of fluid under our navel is due to lymphatic stagnation. And even those who can't gain weight. I've seen clients who are stressed, they've been sick, they can't gain weight, they don't want to eat. I work on them and they get up going, wow, I want to eat because I've gotten blood going through their body. Because the body will shut down when your lymphatic system is not working. So now we're going to learn how, because my whole book is how we're filling with cellular waste, and I wrote it 12 years ago. I'm going to show you new research on how we're really filling with cellular waste, so you don't have to believe me. So this is about how common crucial features of normal proteins, if you remove one, it may help all these diseases. So Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and Huntington's disease share a common crucial feature, which is abnormal proteins building in the brain. And they're saying, well, if we remove these abnormal proteins, it may help all of these diseases, not just one disease. So that is recently. Just March of last year, they said that when you're overly acidic, an area of your body, your cells aggressively clump. Your cells are supposed to flow through your body like this. This is what happens. They stack up like coins or like chips when you're more acidic. So your body may be really good, but maybe your liver or your pancreas, because you're slouching all the time over the computer, is just not getting the proper blood supply. So it becomes acidic, and now the proteins start building and start stacking and they can't get out, and they make inflammation. So that's really how disease begins, okay, from cellular waste building in our body. Clearance of senescent cells. I have to explain what a senescent cell is. A senescent cell is a cell that's gone. Remember, we're a cellular being, 100 trillion cells. Cells that have stopped dividing is what they're supposed to do, and they just float around giving off. They haven't gone through the normal death of apoptosis, so they just float around, they're giving off this waste. Well, we all have them in our body, about 5%, and they found that when they remove these senescent cells, it can prevent or delay tissue dysfunction and extend health span. And the lymphatic system is really what maintains your cellular environment. So when we have cells in our body that aren't breaking down, we need to get the lymph system going to go after and get the immune system going to break everything down. Here's another one about senescent cells and arteriosclerosis. So senescent cells also release bioactive molecules called senescence associated secretory xenotypes, meaning as they're floating around just breaking down, they're giving off this junk that actually will break down normal tissue, but it also attracts immune cells to it. So this could be a reason why we have autoimmune diseases. It's all about our own cells building in parts of our body. And here they're saying that osteoarthritis is from senescent cells. They took a senescent cell, they put it in the knee of a mouse, and the knee got arthritis. They actually saw it in a matter of weeks. Here they use drugs to actually remove some of these senescent cells. But first they took young mice and they put senescent cells in them, and they saw within 2 weeks that they had dysfunction and aging. Then they took these older ones that they had and they removed the senescent cells and they extended their lifespan. So my work, I believe, in you learning how to maintain your lymphatic system is really life extending, and that's something that we all think about. But it's more than senescent cells. There's a lot of waste in our body. This is about amyloidosis. Anybody ever have swelling of your ankles, weakness, fatigue, shortness of breath, numbness, tingling, enlarged tongue? I've had all of these things basically, and it really is due to cellular waste building in a part of your body, and it can actually be fatal. In the books it talks about. I actually had a purpura. We came back from vacation, and I'm not good on vacation. I probably have too many martinis and oysters and stuff, and I want to get in good shape. So a day after vacation, I went with my son, we rode bikes hard, and I pumped it. I pumped it hard. That night I felt a warm flush on my body. I didn't get out of bed, I was too lazy. The next morning I had a big purple mark on my eye. I broke a blood vessel. Because my body cannot handle, because I've had surgery on the side, the extra pressure in my body, it got blocked and broke a blood vessel. So thank God it wasn't an aneurysm. So never do anything too extreme. So amyloidosis is very important. We're going to read a lot about that. So our body is really like a fish tank, right? Your cells are alive, and what you put in your body is what they're swimming in. And if they can't get rid of their waste, if they can't get oxygen, then they get sick. So it really is about, right? People go to hospitals, they give them check their meters for oxygen and all that. So we have to learn how to change our cellular environment. I mean, they find toxins everywhere, even in babies. Out of 300 babies, they found a byproduct of Teflon Gore-Tex in their blood right out of the womb. So it doesn't matter who we are, we're all exposed to this. Centers for Disease Control found jet fuel byproduct in infant formula, and then they went on to find it in milk. In all these things, they're finding it. So anytime you get new car smell, pumping fuel, paint fumes, it's toxins, and we have to make our body a way to get rid of it, and the way we do it is making our body a cleaning machine, and we have to think of our lymphatic system, because that's really what cleans us. And when we're acidic in our body goes like this. We can't clean. We have to, and that's a big part of gaining weight. They say it's about inflammation they're finding when it can't clean. So we're almost done. Auto intoxication. When this system can't clean us, we're filling with our own cellular waste, and it really is about parts of cells. It's self-poisoning resulting from the absorption of waste products. If the lymphatic system cannot recover protein-rich fluid, you swell, you'll die within 24 to 48 hours. And experiments have shown that the complete blockage of lymphatics of a dog, it dies within a few weeks. So all of our health problems, where we just have a slight little lymphatic problem that's affecting your thyroid, your kidney, your ovary, your prostate, and they treat it as cancer or different things. And we have to start treating us more like a cell in our body. So this is I don't mean to show this to scare anybody, but this is what a kidney looks like when it's diseased. The tissue has become broken down from acid because the lymph system can't clean it, and it just sits there and breaks down its own waste and cells. And again, naturopathy, a lot of things, not so much traditional medicine, but naturopathy and eating healthy, it can really make a big difference. I just got off the phone with a Skype with a man. He found me, he's from Amsterdam, he wrote a book, he's Italian. He had lung cancer, they told me he was going to die in 2010. They said, oh, you have 3 months to live, sorry, we can't do anything. He ignored them and he went and just changed his diet, detox, and he's still here today. And he teaches people how to do this stuff, but he's interested in the lymphatic system. So again, he's from Amsterdam. This man here is Dr. Rao. He's from Switzerland. He wrote a book of Theory of Biological Medicine. He found that the body can function properly when you remove the burden of toxicity, and we're all toxic, I don't care who you are, especially if you take a few medications. Balance pH in the body, reverse oxidation at the cellular level, remember about the cell, and get nutrients into and out of the cell, then the body can heal itself. And it sounds easy, and it's not. So I always tell people it's good to get a naturopath or somebody to work with you, but find someone who understands lymphatics, because often I talk to naturopaths and they say, oh, I use somebody for cupping who does lymphatics. And to me, that's 5,000-year-old Chinese science. And cupping does not move lymph in the proper direction, so if anybody tries to talk to you about cupping, I'm against it. It bruises you, it might make more problems. And he recommends lymphatic drainage. So I do 60-minute sessions, they're fully closed, and I really work with everything. I don't care what it is. Some people have headaches, migraines, pain, they've had accidents, I make a big difference in their life. I'm on Shea and Hayden, and I coach people globally because people really do not understand this stuff. And you want to try a session, I'll do it $25 off the first session. And I am going to, if you sign up on my site for my mailing list, I'm going to do a 350, the summer special out here, 350 series of 5, so you can go through a detox of 5 in 1 month. That's my real detox, 5 sessions in 1 month, and we tie that in with a little bit better diet, not perfect, and your life changes. You really feel totally different. So I also have a website where I teach people about draining themselves, and I have a lot of people in Europe who are swelling. In Europe and Spain, they swell a lot. So I teach people how to use diet, supplements, exercise, and self-lymphatic drainage. We can actually drain our own lymphatic system. I do it 3 or 4 days a week, and include it. You actually directly move waste out of your body, and if you come to see me, I can show you too. So I developed an 8-minute routine that cleans you. So we all need to learn about our lymphatic system. Now that you learned about it, I tell people, you sort of can't just like ignore it anymore. And I'm going to tell you just a few things that will make it better. Because this is more about why you should do it, but I hate to leave people not knowing what you should do. Number one, we need to eat more fruits and vegetables, right? You want to eat more low glycemic, don't eat a bunch of sweet fruit. You want to mix more low glycemic. If you're making a fruit smoothie, add a little bit of kale, add a little bit of green to it, add a little celery or something like that. Systemic enzymes are very important. My book explains how we're filling with cellular waste. You just saw how all these diseases are now being linked to cellular waste, arteriosclerosis, osteoarthritis, heart failure, MS. So we have to learn ways to get rid of cellular waste. So systemic enzymes are stronger than digestive enzymes, and they make a difference. I believe they're anti-aging. So my course, I have 7 lessons, 30 easy activities. You get it over 2 weeks. Anybody can go on there and get it. And then you have, I sort of talk to you in there if you have any questions. But we learned that the body is a sewage treatment system. Again, it's the lymphatic system, and it maintains your cellular environment. They're alive. Say hello to your kidney, your liver, your spleen sometimes. Make sure they're getting good circulation. Next time you see yourself slouched over your computer, straighten up, especially if there's a few of you in the office here. Me and my wife, we catch each other all the time. We walk in, even my son now, Dad, straighten up. So we just got to catch ourselves. It's not about being perfect, it's about catching ourselves. 2 studies linked fat and obesity to damage lymph vessels. If you want to lose weight, it's amazing. I've been eating like we've had parties, my mother's in the hospital, I've had a lot of stress, I've been eating emotionally, and just 2 days of eating healthfully, I've eaten salads for 2 days, you feel totally different. I mean, I was feeling horrible. And 2 days of eating differently, and you feel better. So it really is your responsibility to sort of understand that you have control over your life.